weekly sit-down with local agricultural leaders and businesses. This is Tailgate Conversations. Sponsored by Pinnaker Chevrolet.
We're here on the 7th Congressional District Ag Tour, originally started by Congressman Roy Blunt, now led by the current Congressman Billy Long. There's going to be 3 stops today, and we're going to start off with the Pinnaker Limousine Farms, head on down to Rogersville to the Mooney Dairy Farms. We'll round it all off at the College of the Ozarks. So come on, let's take a look. We're here with Congressman Billy Long, and we're on an ag tour today all over Southwest Missouri. And I wanted to thank you for doing this in our area, and I want to know more about who Congressman Billy Long is. So tell us your story all the way from the beginning and kind of where you are now.
All right. Well, born and raised in Springfield, and my family, my granddad was actually in the used furniture business. And down, where the Flame Restaurant is, down on Walnut Street in Springfield, that was my granddad's used furniture store.
Wow.
And
it's changed a lot.
Yeah, the black sign that hangs down the side of the building that now says Flame used to say furniture, and my dad would go to the Frisco Railroad auction. They had a monthly auction, they called it the Dead Freight Auction here in Springfield, to sell things that had been damaged on the railroad. So that kind of got me around my first auction. My dad carried me on his shoulders when I was 2 years old.
Where you got the itch?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I can still see in my mind's eye here, 62 years later, as a 2-year-old. I'm 64 now, but sitting on my dad's shoulders and all the activity in that auction down there at the Frisco Dead Freight Auction. And so years later, when I was in the real estate business, I became a real estate broker, but it was obvious I was going to starve to death as a 24-year-old kid trying to sell real estate. And so I thought, why couldn't you go off to auction school and learn how to auction these homes? And so that's what I did. I've got a kind of a gift of gab, and I like to use a lot of humor in what I do, whether it's in Congress or whether it's, in real estate and auctioneering. And so that's kind of, and then later in '99, I'm kind of like Jerry Clower, the old country comedian. I backed into show business. I became a radio talk show host at KWTO AM 560. KWTO, keep watching the Ozarks.
Yep, that's where we hear the voice, the
you
radio
bet.
voice.
Yeah, it covered part of 4 states and 95 counties, so that gave me a 6-year window, 3 hours every morning. Still had no clue I'd ever run for Congress, but when I did run for Congress 3 or 4 years later, my name ID was off the charts compared to other people between auctioneering 30 years, selling real estate for 30 years, talk radio for 6 years during that 30 years.
You had friends in all these different facets.
Well, what I did over 200 auctions a year for 20 years. If you do 200 auctions a year, you look at 600 because you turn down 2 out of 3. It's not the right property. The people want too much. You're just not going to make a good auction. And so I was in 600 people's homes for 20 years with my feet under their kitchen table, with my, sitting on their sofa in their living room talking about selling grandma's antiques or liquidating their real estate.
Yeah, you heard everybody's story.
Yeah, and so I really had a handle on what people were thinking here in Southwest Missouri. So combination of the name ID I gained from the radio, auctioneer, real estate career of 30 years, that name ID when I went to run for Congress, it was really beneficial. So that's what somebody asked me the other day. They said, well, how do you run for Congress? What should I do? And I said, well, I'd recommend having a 30-year career in auctions and real estate, and then come back and talk to me.
Yeah. Well, that's such an interesting story, and part of your story is serving the people of Southwest Missouri in a variety of different ways. And one of the things that you do is you have an ag tour every year?
Yes, yeah. Roy Blunt, my predecessor, Senator Blunt now, he had an annual ag tour, and I kept it right up because this is his old seat. He was the congressman from Missouri's 7th Congressional District. I'm now a congressman from Missouri's 7th Congressional District, so we didn't miss a beat. And Bob Kohlmeyer, who all the farmers know, does all my agriculture thing. He's my ag guy in my office, so he attends all the farmers meetings when he's me when I'm not here. When I'm in Washington.
Your eyes and ears.
Colin Peterson, the chairman of the agriculture committee, who's here today on our farm tour, and he happens to be a Democrat. So, we do a lot of things in a bipartisan fashion for agriculture, and Colin is here today with us, so I'm real glad to have him here on the ag tour.
Well, very good. Well, let's kind of walk around and we'll look and see what
we're at. Some of the champion cattle.
Yeah, we're at Pinnaker Farms right now.
Here.
Can you tell us a little bit about each of the different stops that we're going to be seeing today?
Yeah, we're doing the Mooney Dairy Farm after this, and then we're actually going to end up down at College of the Ozarks with all their agricultural products, all of their cattle, their milk cattle, their beef cattle, everything that they do. A lot of people don't know what an active farm the College of the Ozarks has down there.
Yeah.
And it is a great school. And I know that Newt Gingrich, when he was running for president a couple of years ago, he gave them really good plugs during a couple of the debates. You know, gave plugs to College of the Ozarks, and it's such a great school. Mike Usry, who works for me, he's one of my field people here in Springfield. He went to College of the Ozarks, graduated. He met his wife there. So I've got 2 College of the Ozarks grads right there, you know, in my office. So let's go down here and find this state champion from the Sedalia State Fair, Missouri State Fair male right down here. We see him. Yeah, this is the grand champion state fair bull right here, and they're real proud of it. And just the fact that it stands there like that, there's a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort going to raising these good limousine cattle like this. And I know Penegers have been at it for years and years. And across the way over here is the state champion female, and I understand she's
about to calve.
Yeah, going to calve the first part of October or so. So
that's exciting.
yeah, we'll have to come back out here and film the calf then. You know, that'll give us an excuse to come back out here to Pennegar Land and Cattle Company.
Well, since we're here in the barn, you not only serve folks who live in the rural area and who are agriculturalists or farmers, but you also serve people who live in the urban area, in the Springfield-Joplin area. So how do you serve both of those people in your seat well?
We have 2 offices here in the district. In Springfield, we have an office. In Joplin, we have an office. Then, of course, our office in Washington. I've got really, really good people. When I ran for Congress, I said my forte is hiring good people, and like Teddy Roosevelt said, stay out of their way and let them do their work. And I've always been really good at that. So that's the same way in these offices. We've got 2 really good staffs here in the district, and they handle all the concerns and everything that someone needs to, you know, whether it's a veterans issue or whether it's an agricultural issue or an IRS problem, SBA, whatever their problem might be, we handle those for them. But you do have 2 distinct groups. You've got Joplin, Springfield, Branson, the more urban areas, and then you've got the hinterlands, as I call it, out there. And broadband internet access is something I've really been working on. Senator Blunt's been helping us with that. And just because a kid lives out in the country doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to do his homework.
Right.
And I was saying that on a radio interview today, and the person on the other end of the line, the show host, said that, oh, I can testify that, because he said his son lives with his ex-wife down in West Plains or somewhere and doesn't have the access, and said he had to come up here to my house in Springfield to get high-speed internet so he could do his homework and prepare, you know, a project. So it's really important.
It's vital for farmers and students to have that access to internet, to use the technology that any of us need to do a proper job for whatever it is.
You bet, you bet. Yeah, farming's come a long way over the years, and technology is a huge part of that. I just want people to know that we're there to help. So that's the main thing I want to put forth to people, is that when I started running for office, Roy Blunt said, you're doing the hard part now, running for office. He said the best part is when you're in office and you can actually help people. Truer words were never spoken. It's really makes you feel good. I have 751,000 constituents, 751,000. So we try and, you know, serve everyone the same. We don't say, well, yeah, did you donate to my campaign, or are you Republican or what, before we help. We just help them.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you sharing your story with us.
All righty, you bet. And we'll see you next time. Until then, adios.